Hey everyone, Kathy here. I was just about to do my food prep for the week, so I thought I would show you guys what I do because a lot of people, I think they kind of overcomplicate things when it comes to the 21-day fix and using the containers, the meal plan and all that. I know I did. I was actually scared to use it in the beginning. I think I had the program for like 6 months before I actually gave it a shot because I thought it was just not for me. It was going to be too complicated to use for a family. But I gave it a shot, and this is what works for me. So the key is not to overcomplicate things. I think a lot of people, when they first get their program, they go searching for recipes. And I did that too, and I found that it just seemed frustrating, you know, trying to cook it for the whole family, or do I just make it for myself, and then you have to measure everything out. So this is what I do, and I suggest that you give it a try, just to kind of simplify things a little bit. So I'm going to be cooking some ground beef here. So it's just a pack of ground beef. It's about 2 pounds, maybe 2.5. So just chop up some onions and garlic and just cook it in there. And then once it's cooked, just divide it into maybe 3 portions. That's kind of the size that we use for our family. So I will keep probably 1 in the fridge, and I'll freeze 2 of them. And I can use these for burritos, tacos, chili. Sometimes I top my salads with some warm ground beef. It's actually really good. And oftentimes I do the same with chicken. I'm not cooking any chicken today, but I'll do like 6 or 7 chicken breasts in the oven, or even in the slow cooker, just straight from frozen. Just cook them in there, and either put them in the fridge or in the freezer, portion them out, shred them up, do whatever you want. You can use those as well, you know, salads, wraps, add them to soups, you know, pretty much anything. And so in here I'm going to be hard boiling some eggs. So just hard boil your eggs, peel them. I usually peel mine first. I find if I do it right away, then the peel tends to stick less. I don't know, but that's what I do. So I peel them right away, just put them in containers, and I can use those for salads as well. I can use those for breakfast, or I can even use those just for a snack. I like hard boiled eggs just like that. So that's a good protein for you. And salads. So I like buying just these big salad bags. I find that if I buy them in the bags, they might be a little bit more expensive, but at least I'm going to use them because I can just open the bag just like I did for lunch, just grab out what I need, measure it out, and that's it. If I have to pre-cut, this is actually spinach and kale. So if I have to pre-cut, pre-wash, and then pre-cut my spinach and my kale, it's just more work, so I'm less likely to do it. So I like using these. So what you could do, I don't work outside the home, but if you do, I would suggest maybe using about half of this bag in a big bowl. Just throw it in there, mix in, you know, some tomatoes, some peppers, cucumbers, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, whatever vegetables you like. Just mix it all up and then portion it out for the week. There's your base of your salad. And then you can just add any of these proteins to it. So just mix or just measure out maybe 2 cups of your salad into a container. And these are probably a pretty good size here. So you could just throw your salad mix in there and measure out a container of your proteins and throw that in there. And try making one of those salad dressings that's in the book. They're really good, and they'll last you probably a good 2 weeks, I think, probably. But anyways, you can, if you want to completely do your salad beforehand, you can throw those on the bottom of your container just so that not everything gets soggy. Otherwise, you could just measure it the day of before you run out the door. Just throw in your orange container of salad dressing. So that is pretty much it. And as far as like snacks or vegetables go, I think a lot of people, they look at this list, and what I did is I went on Pinterest and I just printed out a list of the approved foods. So I think a lot of people, they look at it and they think that they have to eat everything on here. That's not the case. Pick your favorites and stick with those. So for vegetables, for example, I usually have carrots, cucumbers, and then obviously my greens, like my lettuce or my spinach and kale, asparagus, we really like asparagus, tomatoes, broccoli, cauliflower. Those are kind of the base ones, you know, those are the ones that everybody in the family likes, and I don't have to worry about using them in different things. And they're very flexible. You can pretty much do anything with them, maybe not the asparagus, but Everything else you can add them to soups, you can add them to stir fries, you can add them to salads, obviously. You can saute them, you can roast them, barbecue them, whatever. So don't overcomplicate it. Just stick with the ones that you like or that everybody else likes. And for snacks, same thing. Most of those vegetables you can eat raw or you can eat cooked. So those are good snacks. Your fruits, obviously, most people aren't too picky with fruits, so they'll buy whatever. What we usually have, it was actually shopping day today, so right now it's not summer yet, so I don't buy a lot of the fruits. I just buy kind of what's in season or what's not too expensive. So apples and bananas and oranges are favorites here, and they're not as expensive usually. And then I usually buy maybe one bag of frozen strawberries or mangoes or whatever, or a mixed bag. So that's what I have in the fridge right now. But yeah, if you want any cooking techniques, like how I hard boil my eggs, what I do or how I cook my ground beef, or anything like that. Oh, one thing that I almost forgot. Overnight oatmeal. If you are busy on the go in the morning, look up some overnight oatmeal recipes, because those are awesome. You can make, like, depending on what you add to it, but you can pretty much make like a whole week's worth or like 4 days worth at a time. So then you have your breakfast to go, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to scramble. You don't have to, just grab your hard-boiled eggs in the morning if you don't want. So yeah, so that is how I meal prep. And let's say, for example, you are making spaghetti for the family. It's totally fine. You can have spaghetti. You just measure out your pasta in your yellow container, and you measure out your meatballs or your ground beef or whatever you're using in your red container. And if you're using a pasta sauce that doesn't have sugar in it, I will count that as a vegetable. I think in the book it says a fruit, but I count it as a vegetable. I don't know. I'm not as strict as the book, because I think that you should be able to follow these guidelines after you're done with the 21-day fix. So I'm a little bit more lenient in certain things. For example, like the sugar snap peas, they say it should go in the purple container because it's more sugar. Purple is fruit. I use them as my green container. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a big deal in the end. But anyways, yeah, so that is my trick. Those are my tips. So let me know if you have any questions.